What if your passport, once your pride, became your prison? In 2025, the unimaginable happened. A quiet wave of restrictions began sweeping across the globe. But not for everyone, specifically for Australians. Country after country, policy after policy, a pattern started to form. Whispers turned into headlines. No more Australian immigrants. From economic shifts, to diplomatic tensions, to cultural overhauls. Nations began rethinking who they let in. Australia, once loved for its laid-back charm, suddenly found itself on the other side of closed gates. Not because of war, not because of crime, but something more silent, more systemic. A blacklist grew. 10 countries now refusing entry to Aussie migrants. No exceptions, no appeals. Was it politics? Climate blame? Visa abuses? The reasons vary, but the message is the same. In 2025, being Australian no longer guarantees you a future abroad. Number 10. India, from friendly to frozen. Once a beloved hotspot for Aussie travelers, spiritual seekers, and digital nomads, India in 2025 made a dramatic shift. What was once warmth turned into walls. A spike in visa fraud cases involving Australian nationals raised alarms. Unlicensed businesses, tax evasion, and overstayed work permits began surfacing. But that wasn't all. A leaked intelligence report rocked relations, claiming Australian-linked NGOs were meddling in Indian political movements. The backlash was swift. Australia was quietly added to India's restricted visa watch list. Long-term stays, denied, work opportunities, shut down. Even student visas faced deeper scrutiny and longer delays. From the bustling streets of Mumbai to the beaches of Goa, immigration officers were given one new instruction: tourism, not settlement. What was once a gateway to culture and opportunity is now a country saying, "You're welcome to visit, but not to live." Number 9. Indonesia, the island rejection, once a sun-soaked paradise for Australians. Bali felt like a second home. Affordable villas, scooter rides, and sunrise yoga. But 2025 shattered the illusion. It started with viral videos. Drunk tourists, disrespecting temples, mocking locals, even riding bikes naked. The internet fumed. The government took notice. Almost overnight, policies changed. Investor visas revoked. Residency programs shut down. Digital nomads rounded up and deported. The message was no longer subtle. Indonesia had had enough. Behind smiling locals and rice fields, a new immigration stance took root. Tourists are welcome, settlers are not. Even longtime expats felt the heat. Visa renewals stalled, extensions denied. Now, from Bali to Jakarta, Australians face cold stares at immigration counters. The island that once embraced them now whispers, "Come, spend, leave." Number 8. Japan, silence and steel. For years, Japan was strict, but just. The rules were clear. Respect earned you a place. But 2025 brought a shift, a quiet storm. As Australia deepened military ties with Japan's regional rivals, Tokyo responded not with speeches, but silence. Residency approvals stopped. Even spouses of Japanese citizens delayed. Work sponsorships vanished overnight. There were no headlines, no press conferences, just closed doors and denied visas. Australians once drawn to Japan's discipline and culture now find themselves frozen out. Immigration offices offer vague answers. Appeals are ignored. The land of the rising sun now feels cold and unwelcoming. Where there was once ceremony, tradition, and opportunity, now remains steel walls and polite rejection. For Australians, Japan no longer bows. It simply looks away. Number 7. Saudi Arabia, closed for security. A nation once opened its gates, now slamming them shut. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 promised change. Global talent, foreign investors, tech pioneers. But in 2025, the winds shifted. A leaked cybersecurity report shook the kingdom. Several Australians linked to unlicensed surveillance tech. Whispers turned into policy. Australia was labeled high risk. Work visas, denied. Residency pathways, canceled. Investor access, blocked. No appeals, no second chances. The desert that once promised futuristic dreams now sees Australians as a liability. Towering cities like Riyadh and Neom feel distant now, not just by miles, but by mistrust. Security now outweighs diplomacy. And for Aussies hoping to ride the Middle East wave, the tide has turned. Desert dreams buried beneath the sand. Number 6. Nigeria, the unexpected ban. No one saw it coming. But in 2025, Nigeria made headlines. An Australian NGO caught operating illegally was accused of funding political disruption. The backlash was swift. Protests erupted. Public anger boiled over. Nigeria responded with silence, then with force. A complete immigration ban on Australians. No visas, no entry, no business deals. Even long-term investors were turned away. Projects stalled. Partnerships dissolved. A nation once eager to welcome foreign allies now brands Australia a non-trusted partner. The shock wasn't just diplomatic, it was personal for many Aussies living or working there. From Lagos to Abuja, doors slammed shut, and in a world of shifting alliances, Nigeria's message was loud and clear. Trust once broken won't be rebuilt easily. Number 5. Russia, icy relations. 2025 froze whatever warmth was left. Australia and Russia, now locked in a silent war of whispers. It started with sanctions. Then came cyber breaches, and finally, spies caught red-handed in embassies. Russia didn't hesitate. A full immigration ban on Australian citizens. No tourists, no students, no workers. What once felt like cold diplomacy turned into a concrete wall. Flights were canceled, visas revoked, even cultural exchange programs disappeared overnight. For Australians, Russia became a no-go zone. Behind the frost-covered headlines, a message echoed through the Kremlin. You're not welcome here. And in the chessboard of global politics, Australia just lost a major square. Number 4, Pakistan, a sudden shift. For years, Australia and Pakistan kept things quiet. Low-key diplomacy, steady ties. But in 2025, it all collapsed overnight. A controversial deportation of Pakistani asylum seekers by Australia made headlines across Islamabad. The backlash? Swift and fierce. Pakistan didn't just protest, it shut its doors. Immigration routes for Australians? Terminated. Dual citizenship applications? Rejected. Spousal visas? Blocked without appeal. From the vibrant streets of Lahore to the sea breeze in Karachi. The message was clear. Australia crossed a line. What was once quiet cooperation turned into frozen silence. For Australians now, Pakistan isn't just distant, it's unreachable. Number 3, Philippines, from friend to firewall. This one shocked everyone. Australians didn't just visit the Philippines. They lived there, retired there, and even fell in love with it. But in 2025, a storm hit. An Australian-backed crypto firm collapsed, taking millions in Filipino savings with it. Outrage erupted. Protests filled Manila's streets. Trust shattered. The government responded fast. Investor residencies canceled. Visa approvals slashed. Australia labeled high risk. In just months, paradise turned into a firewall. From the beaches of Palawan to the heart of Cebu, the welcome faded. For Australians, the Philippines is no longer a tropical escape. It's a closed gate. Number 2, Turkey, no longer a neutral zone. Turkey was once a welcoming crossroads, a land where East met West, and Australians roamed ancient ruins under golden sun. But 2025 shattered that calm. Australia voiced support for a Kurdish group, one Turkey branded as a terrorist threat. That move lit a fuse. Ankara responded hard. Residency permits? Denied. Consular access? Restricted. Immigration pathways? closed. What was once neutral ground became off-limits overnight. For Australians, Turkey transformed from a travel dream to a diplomatic red zone. Number 1. China, the final wall. No shock, just a slow-burning tension. Finally igniting in 2025, Australia joined a naval drill near Taiwan. China saw it as provocation. The response? Swift and silent. Residency, frozen. Work permits, quietly denied. Long-term visas, dead on arrival. Tourists can still enter, but under a microscope. For Australians, China isn't a rising opportunity anymore. It's a red flag zone, a place once full of promise, now sealed behind a final wall. So here we are. 10 countries, 10 closed doors, not because of who you are, but because of where you're from. There was a time when a passport meant freedom, a future, a chance, but in 2025, it can be a warning, a reason to turn you away. If you're an Australian dreaming of a life overseas, look again, because some doors aren't just closed, they're locked from the inside, and the key might no longer be yours. Subscribe for more raw, real global insights, and remember, the world is changing faster than you think.